Hi and welcome back to Staying In For A Pint. This is Ethan.
And that's Kieran.
And this episode is going to be quite different to the other two that we have done. So this episode is going to be slightly shorter because of, well, there's not much going on really, is there?
No.
And uni work, and that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, so we put a post out on Instagram a couple of days ago about how uni work's increasing, so we're not able to do a full length podcast as often as we would like. We've also realised that actually there's not much to talk about at the moment.
No, I feel once we have the chances of getting guests on, then whether it's online or in person, it's going to be online, then it'll be more entertaining for us and the viewers, if there is any. Until then,
true. But until then, we're just going to stick with the beer reviews.
Solely a beer review for now.
Yeah, which is what we were initially planning, to be honest.
Yeah.
Initially when we thought of it, we said let's do a podcast on reviewing different beers. So initially we just thought that we were just going to get 6 or 7 different beers in and just try them throughout an hour and see what we thought.
But now it's not going to be an hour.
Now it's not going to be an hour.
It's going to be like
10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 beers.
Yes.
So this week, again, are they both from 10-4?
That was from 10-4, that one isn't.
So we've got 10-4's India Pale Ale, which Kieran is now really got into. He's started to enjoy his Indian Pale Ale.
Yes, Mum, I've made it in the world.
He has indeed. And then we've also got the Hop Foundry. Hop Foundry. The Hop Steppers, which is a hop forward pale ale. Again, both from Aldi. And similar to last week's episode, they were both £1.9p.
Yeah.
So let's get into the first review.
Yeah.
So first up, we've got the Hop Stepper by the Hop Foundry. It's 4.5%, and it's a 440 millilitre can for £1.9p, which can't really complain about.
I wish they were all this size and not any smaller.
So do I. So let's give it a taste. It's very live, mine anyway. Oh, my phone's gone on. I'll turn it upside down so it doesn't mess with the lights.
Or put it in your pocket so it doesn't distract you. I'm joking.
Like anybody's messaging me. Okay. So, here we go with the first one. Initial inspections.
It's quite light in my opinion.
Yeah, quite light, quite transparent. You know, looks quite nice. Smell wise, it smells quite nice, to be fair. Quite fruity.
It reminds me of I can't remember the name of it. The last one.
The Brell or the Bruts?
The taller one.
The Bruts
from 10-4.
Yeah. Bruts.
The smell reminds me of it.
So yeah, let's give it a taste. Cheers. Okay.
I can definitely taste some kind of spice.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a fruity kick in the back of the throat and a bit of a spice, but it's not as flavoursome as
no, it's not as flavoursome
as the Brut or the Brell from last week. Very tasty, very crisp. I think it specifies on the front that it's
it's quite sharp.
It just says hop forward on it. But yeah, it's very crisp. It's very summery, but it's very tasty.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, so do I. And so, what are you going to give it out of 5? What are you thinking?
I don't know. It's not as good as the Brut and Brell.
Yeah, which you gave a 3, I believe.
No, I think I gave it like 2.75.
Okay. So what are you going to give
It's
this?
lower than 2.75. I'd say it's either go 2.25.
2.25.
Or 2.
Because I'm going to go for about the 1.75 sort of range.
2.
You're going to go for
solid
2.
2.
Okay, well that's fair enough. Well, because it's a shorter episode, we'll just we'll talk whilst we're drinking. So we've got a couple of interesting things coming up.
Yeah,
that we're
do you
looking
want to
forward
tell them the story of today?
We were meant to go on a walk.
We're going to get some coffee.
We were going to go on a walk down the canal to a cafe, so we could grab a coffee and turn around and walk back.
Went the opposite direction to the canal.
Yeah. Went into the centre of town. Went to the market. What did we find in the market?
We found a brewery.
What did we do?
We bought some drinks.
We bought some more beer.
What fascinates me is he told the guy who was there, said he'd opened up 2 years ago when we got here,
and we'd never found it before.
And he was trying to promote it to students, and we've been completely oblivious.
Exactly. But you know, he's quite a nice guy. We got a couple of bargains. He gave us a little discount.
I think we'll go back. I'd like to go back.
We're looking more to doing brewery specific episodes as well. So that could help because all their beers are in certain breweries. But we have got something interesting coming up as well. There's been a lot of Easter eggs on the Instagram page.
Yeah.
So all we'll say is they're strong. Very strong.
And we zigzag now. Finishes.
So we've got one episode next week from this, and then we're going to have the week after. It's going to be really short. It's just a one beer review the week after. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting,
to say the least.
I've already had those beers, so that's the spoiler. I've already had them, so I know what they taste like.
As usual, I'm in the danger zone.
And you're definitely...
I'm in the danger zone every single episode.
You're definitely in the danger zone with this one. So we've got that, and then we've got another Torside one the week after. Oh, just spoiled it.
Well, you can't spoil it because in the Instagram post
you can see it. So yeah,
they just don't know the drinks.
Easter egg is it's Torside.
It's from this brewery,
which is my favourite brewery. So
and you know them personally.
I do, yeah. So we've got some special coming, and some special coming, and some special coming as well. I'm not on about his muscles.
They're not coming anytime soon.
But yeah, so we're going to have some very different types of beers. Some very strong beers. Some very different tasting beers.
Yeah.
We're just going to try and mix up, as I mentioned in an earlier episode, it's getting to this time of year where we're wanting darker beers.
We're going to be, what's the word?
Shifting? I don't know what you're trying to say.
It's kind of shift. I've done what you do. We're moving forward with beers as well as the time of year.
Yes.
If you know what I mean. There's one word for it, but I can't remember what the word is.
Seasonal? No? I'm thinking seasonal beers.
Yeah, I'm trying... no, that's not the word, but you know... No, you don't know what I mean.
No, I don't know.
I don't know what I mean either.
But yeah, we're going to hopefully move along looking at the more darker beers.
We're going in contrast with this seasons, if that makes sense.
Hand in hand with the seasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the words.
We're hoping to get a Halloween beer in, but we haven't managed to get one yet. And Halloween is next week.
Is it?
Next Saturday is Halloween. So this is going out on the 24th.
Saturday, yeah.
And then the week after is Halloween. So either that'll be our Torside episode, or we'll have got a Halloween beer in, which we can hope for.
I've had a thought, but I don't know whether I can say it on camera or not.
Well, let's save it for afterwards then.
Okay.
And if we do get a Halloween episode in, the lights won't be blue. Let's put it that way. We'll make it a bit spookier.
Which would be complete darkness.
I was thinking,
we might as well take our glasses off.
I was thinking more orange, to be honest.
Right, okay.
But yeah, so who knows? We might end up having a Halloween brew. We might not. But yeah, that's it's the end. Well, it's not really the end because we've got to finish this, but we'll finish this off camera. But that's the end of the first beer review. Quite nice. Nothing too special about it.
Can you taste any other flavours in it though? Like what can you taste?
There's a bit of a citrus in the very back at the beginning, and a tiny little bit of spice. But it's so overpowered with hops that it's very difficult to taste any of that. Now have a look on the description. It's very difficult to read in this light with it being a shiny one.
I'm not all of it from the can.
No, neither have I. It just says Chinook hops, which.
Where are you reading?
Well, it doesn't say the flavours on it.
Oh, okay.
But Chinook hops are just a very.
I don't like the fact that they've for the viewers they've put the description on silver, like a mirrored on a blue background, so I can't read that at all.
It'd probably be easier if we were in the light rather than in the dark. But that is the end of the first review. See you shortly. Okay, and we're back for the second beer review. So similarly to last week's beer, we've got a 10-4 Brewing. However, this one is their India Pale Ale, so their IPA.
It's not as strong as that one as well, because I forgot the other one's name now.
The hops.
Yeah, that was 4.5 and this is 4.1.
It's a clean, crisp and hoppy lager. So it sounds right up your street. So let's crack it open.
Say 5 words and let you run on yours. That was a bit lively.
Okay, so here we go. Now, instantly, it is definitely very much lager. The colour is so yellow, it's unreal. It's so much clearer.
It doesn't. It looks. I was going to say it looks exactly the same as the other one, but it doesn't.
It's so much lighter.
Yeah, this is.
The head isn't holding as well. There's clearly a fizz within it. You can see the bubbles rising. It just tastes crispy. So chin chin, she'll enjoy this more than me. You know what?
What?
I'm not a fan.
You're not?
Really not.
Because it's lager.
No, it just tastes. I'm trying to think of a decent word.
Say what you like. I won't be offended.
It's just too barley flavoured.
You don't like barley, do you?
No, barley's alright, but it literally just tastes like you're chewing on corn.
Fair enough.
You know, it just there's just something about it that was hoppy. It was on your tongue. It literally felt like it was jumping. Whereas this, it's just bland.
Well, this is a beer review, not an ale review. We're going to be doing a lager as well.
We are doing,
but not as much as ale.
Well, no, but the IPAs we both like. They're both very tasty. I'm just not a fan. It just doesn't have the flavours that I was looking for. I was quite, like, you know, it said IPA on it. I was like, I'm excited for this. It's gonna hit me like most IPAs do. Like last night you had Jaipur, and I had Beardo. Both very tasty. You know what? Jaipur was 5 point.
I think it was 5.7 or something like that.
And then Beardo was 6%. And it was just tasty.
Yeah.
Whereas there's not much of a flavour to this. What's your opinion of it?
I mean, I do prefer the other drinks that I've had recently, apart from the very first episode.
Yeah.
Because those
were bland.
Yeah. It's hard to say because it's just a lager in my opinion. There's not much special about it in the taste.
Compare that to a Corona.
It's much better than Corona in my opinion.
You think that's better? I'd rather have a Corona to that. I don't think that has... Like, Corona doesn't have much of a flavour. Like, we can both admit that.
This does have a slight flavour.
It does
flavour.
It does have a flavour, but I don't like the flavour. That's my honest truth.
Fair
I don't like it. It says American hops.
Would you
give a fruity note?
Would you rate it then or not? On Untapped?
It's a 0.25 because I can't give it. Actually, yeah, 0.25.
Right. Okay.
The lowest I can give, without it being 0, because 0 suggests I haven't drank it. So it says American hops given a fruity note, to this clean, soft lager, complementing the light bitterness, citrus, and honey flavours. I'm sorry, like, I like to think I have a decent palate.
I can taste honey in it.
There's a little bit of
taste
honey.
Much.
There's no fruity notes in that.
No.
There is no.
Because most drinks, some drinks I can say, yeah, I can taste it. But then other drinks, because you've got a better taste palate than mine.
Yeah.
You have to say to me, oh, it's this, and then I'll get it.
Yeah.
But because you can't get it, it's...
No.
Yeah.
I've literally just moved my tongue and trying to find the right area for it to hit, and there is that instant, like, now my mouth is salivating, and I'm getting that flavour of honey, but I'm not getting very many fruit, if any, fruity notes. And that's usually one of the first things that hit me when it comes with a beer, is the fruity notes or the dark smoky flavours from a dark beer, or the chocolate or the toffee or the caramel. But I'm not getting anything from this.
No.
And it's quite, you know...
It's disappointing because...
It's really disappointing. It
was 10-4, and the last 10-4 drink we had, it was really nice.
That brute was absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just...
It's brought my, not respect, but liking of 10-4 brewery down a bit.
This is why they're not on Untapped. The brewery's not on Untapped. They're down as Aldi. So that explains why. But yeah, I'm just not happy with it. So last week we spoke about what we'd call our beer.
Yeah.
What we'd call our pubs.
You got another question?
I have.
Okay.
What are you calling your beer? Now the thing is...
Did I not answer this last time?
No, I answered what yours would be called.
Oh, it was Hot and Fiery, wasn't it?
No, your brewery's called Hot and Fiery, and your beer was called...
Tangerine...
Spicy Tangerine Bastard.
Yeah.
So...
I don't know.
The thing is, we haven't even spoken about this before we turned the camera on, so this is on the spot.
I'm not a creative person whatsoever, so I can't think on the spot. Well, I can.
Yeah.
But I don't have, like, creative ideas at all, never mind on the spot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm like, in some cases, some beers, like, because I'm a lager drinker, I'm going to suggest like lager names here. Not Foster's, Carlsberg. Where did they come up with the name for Carlsberg all those years ago?
No idea. But when you look at ales, and Torside that we have next week, all their ales are very specific. They have one that's something about like Tuesdays and how they hate Tuesdays, because they were brewing this beer, and whilst they were brewing it, they was waiting for this guy to arrive on the Tuesday to collect this massive crate, and he never arrived. So they named the beer after how much they hated that day because they were waiting around for him.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris, if you actually are watching, I'm sorry for outing you. But like, all their beers have a reason for their names.
Right. Well, I'm trying to think of a reason for my name, but I don't know what I would still call it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so for you, you know, you've got... Well, one of the obvious things that you've got is your ginger hair.
Do I?
And then you've got the things that you enjoy doing on the side as well.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got to pick those ideas. For example, mine would be, I'd like to think mine would be called Smoky City or something like that. And it'd be a dark smoky beer which has instant hits you with the smoke, but in the back of your mouth you get a sort of like a sweet chocolatey aftertaste coming through. Or, you know, like, obviously I have a passion for Manchester as well as the football
Did you?
club.
I didn't know.
So like the industrial revolution of that, and the smoke which was constantly in the city, and the smog which, you know, London still has to some extent, like capturing that in a beer and capturing that in the name of the beer, I think is what makes current beers much more innovative than those originally.
I'll come up with one.
Come up with one.
By the end of this episode,
okay,
I will come up with one.
So we also said last week, what's the one beer that you would drink for the rest of your life if you could only have one?
Yeah.
And you said Brut by 10-4.
Yeah.
If I told you could, what's your least favourite beer you've ever had?
Least favourite?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The least favourite drink you've ever had?
I'd go with Birra Moretti.
Least favourite Birra Moretti. Right. Okay. So
just because of the price for it.
Okay. So if I told you could have a Birra Moretti for the rest of your life, or you couldn't drink beer again, what would you do?
I wouldn't drink beer again because I'd be skint by the end of the week. It's like £5 in a pub.
It's like me. I would rather never drink beer again than drink Foster's.
Like when I was a year ago, I was in a pub with my mates. I said, we've not seen each other in a while. I'll buy the first round. What are you having? Birra Moretti. Okay. Go on the app. Because I can't be bothered to stand up and go up to the till. Go on the app. And they're like, what? £5.40. And they're like, I need to work again tomorrow.
Yeah. But no, that's the thing. Like,
it's a decent beer to drink.
Yeah, Birra Moretti is meant to be a very, very nice
lager. It's a decent beer. It's just
expensive.
Yeah.
Whereas Foster's just is rubbish, in my personal opinion.
In some cases, I lean towards beer for the price, but then again, I don't sometimes look at the flavours and things.
Whereas I'm the opposite.
Which I think I should do more.
I feel like
obviously, but
when lockdown's over, and we're able to go to the pubs much more freely, and we start going to proper pubs again.
You're taking me on a cultural trip.
We'll go on a cultural trip. We'll vlog
it. A cultural crawl.
Indeed. And what we'll do is we won't pick a beer based on the fact that, hey, I want that one. We'll base a beer on the flavours and the tones and the notes that come from the beer. And that's how we'll pick what we're going to drink over the course of the evening.
That could be a special.
That could be a vlog. Sounds like a good idea. I won't be taking the big camera, I'll take the GoPro. But sounds like a plan to me.
We won't go with the plough.
No, let's not go in Plough. No, to be fair, we'll go in Plough. They've got really nice beers on in Plough.
Just don't need bladder.
And yeah, well, we're back again. It cut out again on us. But you know, this is why we've decided to take away from the podcast sort of format. Yeah. We're struggling to find.
I do like the format because it's variety of things to talk about.
Yeah.
But there's not always things to talk about. Like last week, there was no Premier League.
No. Well, we tried to cover that.
We tried to cover that, but it was a bit hard.
Yeah. Because we didn't watch the international football because we just don't care for it really.
It's because there were just friendlies, weren't there? And then there was Nations League.
Yeah.
But Nations League, I don't really bother about that.
No, it was just a way of UEFA being able to make a bit more money.
If there was, the only competitions that I'm interested in internationally is the World Cup and Euros.
Yeah. Yeah, that's literally it.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything else. Obviously though, as we are drinking this, we can talk about Premier League this weekend slightly, if you'd like.
Yeah.
So,
I'd like to have your opinion on one thing. I've probably asked you this before. The so-called European Premier League. What do you think of it?
I don't really know, because what I've read is that it's going to run alongside the Premier League season. Now, is it going to take away from the Champions League because it's it's FIFA ran rather than UEFA ran? Okay, so that's the main thing, because the UEFA Champions League is a massive, massive business. Brings in so much money. The other thing, if it's running alongside the normal Premier League season, we're like, if you think about it, Newcastle are the most northern team in the Premier League, and they could play Brighton. Let's say Newcastle are also somehow in the European Premier League. They then have to go away to Milan the next day.
They haven't talked about. They've only talked about like 4 teams British teams that could potentially be in it.
4 to 5.
I think it was
Liverpool.
Yeah, Aston Villa.
No, that was in.
No, it definitely is.
I thought that was the project.
No, it is Aston Villa. I think.
I think you're on about the big plan, which then got cancelled.
What big plan?
The one that United and Liverpool pulled together. What I've read is it's Liverpool and United who have already said that they're backing the European Premier League. City, Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham are also Tottenham
So the
are
top
iffy.
6.
So it's the top 6, but there'd be 5 that would get in. I don't think it will. It could happen.
I don't think it will
be good.
If you think about how congested will the weeks be?
I just don't think that it will fit.
And Gary Neville, your mate, has said that he isn't backing it, or he isn't agreeing with it.
No, I think
even though his team said let's have it.
I don't think it'll work. I don't think it might go ahead, but I think it will ruin European football.
Ruin domestic football as well.
Yeah. Other than that, we had the Merseyside derby last weekend, which was a very good game. Van Dijk got injured. That's the main talking point at the moment. That's all we're going to say on that.
Well, you can talk about the offside goal as well. That was disallowed.
If it's offside, it's offside. You know,
it's offside, but I'm not a Liverpool fan.
We've had them against us. United have had them against them.
I'm not a Liverpool fan, but either way, I'm just considering them as a blatant, just a inconsiderate side, right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Armpit.
I totally agree. However, consistency is key. If it's happened to City, if it's happened to Chelsea, if it's happened to Tottenham, if it's happened to Arsenal, if it's happened to flipping...
I'm just glad Crew didn't have VAR.
Well, yeah, you'd be ruined then. You know, if it's happened to those big teams,
then it's going to happen to everyone.
You can't turn around and go, "Oh, we're Liverpool. That doesn't count."
Yeah.
Let's move away from
talking
Liverpool.
about one more thing about Liverpool. Van Dijk's injury is the worst I've seen in a while. It's worse than I remember reports last year.
Yeah.
But now, Jurgen Klopp has asked the Premier League to ask for an emergency transfer to replace him.
Shouldn't happen.
No.
Emerick Laporte was injured for the majority of last season. Did City turn around and go, "We need an emergency transfer"? No. If Liverpool need a new centre back, why didn't they invest in that over the summer
They've got
1 second.
Yeah.
Lovren. They sold Lovren. Did they replace Lovren? No. Why are they now panicking? Because they don't have a good enough backup centre back. They're playing Fabinho. Yes, brilliantly. His last 4 games, he's been a great centre back when they played centre back for him. However, don't turn round and go, "We need an emergency transfer because a player's got injured." That's what the transfer window is there for.
From what I can remember, centre backs for Liverpool are Matip, Van Dijk, Gomez, and Fabinho, who can play centre back.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of. 2 of which are injured, because Van Dijk had the injury and Matip's injured as well.
Right.
I don't know how. Right. Must be in training, but they've only got 2 choices.
Can you name me City's 2 centre backs for the majority of last season? Nicolas Otamendi.
Zinchenko.
No, he played left back. Nicolas Otamendi
and Stones. No.
Eric Garcia.
Yeah.
Or Fernandinho. Fernandinho is doing exactly what Fabinho did, and Gomez is the Otamendi in that situation. Or the other option, they take Fabinho out, put him in centre midfield, and then they bring in a young player like
or
City
they could
had
just
to do
play
last
3
year.
at the back instead.
Exactly.
Change formation.
They seem to think that there's one rule for them and another rule for everybody else. Can we move away from Liverpool before I start ranting?
There's going to be a hole in the table in a minute.
There will be a hole in the table. Other than that, other Premier League action. Tottenham did a standard Tottenham.
Bottled it.
Bottle jobs.
I was going to say 7-2, but that was... No, that's 6-1, but that was ages ago.
Tottenham were
3-0 up.
3-0 up with 10 minutes to go. In 18 minutes, and with 10 minutes to go, they threw it away.
I'm just going to say 1 point from this game. Lanzini.
What a goal.
Blinking heck.
Will he ever score one like that ever again? Probably
no.
not.
But what I love from it is Declan Rice's tweet.
His quote.
His quote.
But you can find that on Twitter.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was now. But
you're going to have to start drinking, sunshine.
We're on the same level.
Right. But other than that, Premier League action, there wasn't too much.
No, not really.
F1. F1 this weekend. When you're watching this, qualifying will have happened for the Portuguese Grand Prix. There hasn't been a Portuguese Grand Prix since 1996, I believe.
Yeah, I watched a clip before on my phone of a crash, and he almost front flipped the car That's how dangerous the track is.
We'll all see this weekend.
What do you think of the Razors shift in teams and everything?
It happens every year.
Because Haas
have lost both their drivers.
Both players.
Jeez, you need to lay off.
You just...
But, yeah, so I finished mine. And he hasn't finished his! And this is that kind of beer.
You know, when you laugh and drink at the same time, it just made me do that.
Ah, flipping heck. And he's finished his. Which means our glasses are empty.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining.
For our Halloween special, because we decided we're going to do one
Yeah.
on staying in for a pint. Cheers.